Did you meet his father?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
Is he still around?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
But that was a point in my life where sometimes in life when you're at crossroads, it's important the people that are allowed to pour into your life. Like, he poured into my life at this point, and what he poured into my life was something that took hold and changed my life.
Wow.
Yeah, he changed my life. He introduced me to another man named Curtis Ford, who actually was training him, who then took me to a whole nother level. And then Curtis, in turn, introduced me to another man named Charles Johnson, who then took me to a whole nother level. So it was a constant progression. It was a constant handoff of, listen, I've taken you as far as I could take you. Now, I'm gonna hand you off to somebody that I know can take you, because I know you have that potential. I want to see you reach your full potential, and that is the true essence of free-heartedness, is understanding something where you're limited, but opening up a door so that unlimitedness can continue to, if that is a word, I don't think so, but
unlimitedness. Yeah, well, you know.
Nah, I know it's not a word, but
you know what? In a couple of years, we might say it in the dictionary.
Yeah, right. Who knows? But I had the honor, man. I've had the pleasure of having some great mentors in my life. From William Lewis Dunbar, who poured into me the ability to speak, and the ability to write. He taught me public speaking, and he taught me, writing essays and anthologies and thesis statements and things that I never imagined I would ever understand how to do or even have a will or desire to do. And again, Howard Davis Jr. and Curtis Ford were the fathers of the foundation of my boxing life. And then Charles Johnson he still is in my life and still trains me and, took me to a whole nother level.
Wow. I wonder why they didn't say, well, I got this young man, I'm going to hold on to him so I can make money with him instead of passing him on to someone else that could take him further. I want to hold him on to myself. I want to be selfish and hold on to him and try to make money with him. I'm not going to let somebody else make the money with him. I wonder why they did that.
Well, at that point, it wasn't a matter of turning me over because, they couldn't see to make money off of me. At that point, it was just really helping me reach my full potential in terms of becoming a fighter and learning how to fight. I mean, I was a raw talent. I was strong. I was fast, and I could hit hard. And that's what I came in the door with. But Howard Davis taught me how to box. Curtis Ford taught me how to believe in myself. And Charles Johnson just brought all of that together and helped me become the man that I am today in terms of boxing.
Wow, that's pretty good. Now, how did you meet Michael Goldberg?
About 10 years ago, I opened. I was able to. I was afforded an opportunity to be a part of a boxing gym, and Michael Goldberg was actually training. He wasn't a professional fighter, but he was just an amateur fighter. He always enjoyed boxing.
Right.
And he was training. He was training with a guy in his house, in his basement. This guy had a little setup, and he would go there and he would train with this guy. Him and this guy had a falling out, and he still wanted to train, so he was looking for a place to come and do his thing because he's very, very much in and out, all over, traveling, and he's not always around. So he wanted to find something that was flexible and something that really made sense and a place where he connected with somebody. And he came in, he met me, we connected, and sometimes you connect with people just instantly. Some people, it takes time for them to grow on you, you to grow on them. But him and I connected instantly, and I consider him my brother. He's not my biological brother, but I call him my brother from another mother.
He thought enough of you to tell me, Rick, you got to have this gentleman on your show. And for him to invite you, for him to introduce me to you, that says a lot to me about what he thinks about you and who you are as a person, as a human being, and as a boxer. So that says a lot. What do you think about that? The fact that he thought enough of you to introduce you to me, to bring you here on this radio program.
I think the thing that has really touched his life about fighters, because he's gone to different trade shows and different award ceremonies, and he's met with a who's who of fighters from almost every generation that he's been able to touch, and he's found that fighters are some of the biggest hearted athletes, some of the strongest willed individuals, but have just been so for lack of a better term, raped by the game, just stripped of everything and then just left to the I think it's a little bit exhilarating for him to see somebody who still has their wits, somebody who can still speak, somebody who can articulate, somebody who can look the part, act the part, be the part, and still be somebody who can reach out and speak to other people and share with them the knowledge of what this game is really all about and what it can really do for your life, how it can change your life in such a way that it really doesn't mean anything about how much money you've made or how many championships you've gotten, but what kind of an individual you have become. And when you become a good individual, when you become a good person, all the other things come. They fall into line. When you line up your ideals and your principles and your work ethic, everything falls into place the way it should.
Wow. This is probably. Tell me about your son.
I have 3 sons.
I know one that was boxing that just won some kind of award recently.
No. None of my sons box. They all know
football,
how to box.
Football.
Oh, football.
The one that's a leading rusher.
Oh, yeah. My sons love football. They love football.
But all 3 of them love football.
Oh, they all love football.
Okay.
They love football. They love athletics, period. I mean, they know how to box. I've taught them all how to box, but I never wanted to push my sons to do what I do. It's something that you have to choose. You can't, it's just like God. God chooses us. We don't, God he picked us out from the time before we was conceived in our mother's wombs. God said, he put that finger on us. It's you. Now it's up to us to choose it, but he chose us. It's up to us to choose after that.
But he was like the 3rd leading rusher in all.
The first.
The first leading rusher.
Well, he scored the most touchdowns in New Jersey.
Wow.
He's a good kid. I mean, he's a strong kid. He's a great representative.
No, but you see your son performing like that, how does that make you feel?
It makes me feel great, but I'm more excited for him than just for myself. I know that it's just like when you have a seed, you know what's in that seed. What's in the seed is just it's complete. All it needs is some earth, little watering, little sunlight, and man, when that seed comes forth, what's in that seed is powerful. I know he's my seed, and I know that all of us we enjoyed sports. We loved football. All me and my brothers, we loved football, but we couldn't play. But I knew that if my children had the opportunity to play, and if they did, they would be great. And he's
what's his name?
Imamu.
Mm-hmm. And what's the other two sons' name?
Naeem and Jameer.
Okay. Now you have a daughter that boxes.
I do.
And what's her name?
Her name is Yamina.
And how did you feel about her getting involved in boxing?
I didn't push her to it. She chose it. My oldest daughter, she fought, but after she fought, she said, "Okay, I don't ever need to do that again."
I did it.
I won, and now I'm done.
I won, and I'm done.
I won. She won a fight, and she said, "Okay, that's enough." So I said, "All right."
Wow, she won a fight.
She won a single fight.
Yeah.
No. She said, "That's it."
Yeah. Okay.
Then my daughter that came behind her, Yamina, she hasn't had one fight yet. But she's been trained. She's been in the gym since she was a baby.
Wow.
She hasn't had one fight. She's had numerous sparring sessions.
Okay.
Where, she just destroys people, but it's very difficult to get her a fight. So
hold on, let me identify ourselves.
WHCR 90.3 FM, New York.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rick Young. I'm in the studio with Imamu. Imamu. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And former cruiserweight champion of the world.
Yes.
IBF cruiserweight champion of the world.
Mm-hmm.
And just sharing his story with me. I was introduced to him by a gentleman, Michael Goldberg. Thank you, Michael, for introducing me to this young man. This is an amazing story. I'm loving it. We need to take a short break, and we will be back in a flash.
WHCR 90.3 FM, New York.
WHCR 90.3 FM will broadcast live from Harlem Week 2015. On Saturday, August 15th, from 12 noon to 5 p.m., we will broadcast in front of Gallery M, located at 123 West 135th Street, between Lenox Avenue and Adam Clayton Powell Jr. Boulevard. Your favorite DJs will spin the latest tunes. Come meet them and your favorite talk show host. On Sunday, August 16th, from 12 noon to 5 p.m., we will broadcast in front of the Harlem Hospital Center, located at 135th Street at the corner of Lenox Avenue. The host of Health in Harlem, Maurice Selby and Sean Shivers, will take their show to the streets of Harlem. They will talk to doctors from Harlem Hospital Center about health issues that affect our community. That's WHCR 90.3 FM's live broadcast during Harlem Week 2015, Saturday, August 15th and Sunday, August 16th. September is National Preparedness Month. WHCR 90.3 FM, the City College of New York, and Harlem Hospital invite you to Harlem Preparedness Day on Tuesday, September 22nd from 12 noon to 4 p.m. There will be information on evacuation procedures, the new flood zones in Harlem, first aid care, emergency procedures for the disabled, go bags, a farmer's market, giveaways, and more. Music provided by a few of WHCR's hottest R&B and house DJs. That's Harlem Emergency Preparedness Day, Tuesday, September 22nd from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m., held on the Adam Clayton Powell Jr. State Office Building Plaza, located at West 125th Street and Adam Clayton Powell Jr. Boulevard.
Explore Harlem's newest dining experience, Sushi Inoue and Sake Bar. Sushi Inoue offers a wide variety of Japanese culinary delights. Dishes include cherry shrimp tofu salad, maguro bluefin tuna, shiromi whitefish, as well as shellfish and eel, just to name a few. Relax at the sake bar or watch the skillful chef prepare your meal before your very eyes. Sushi Inoue Sushi and Sake Bar is located at 381 Lenox Avenue at the corner of 129th Street. You want to eat healthy? Cut down on the fried and cut down on the starches. Try Sushi Inoue Sushi and Sake Bar. It's available to cater your next event. For hours of operation or more information, call 646-766-0555. That's 646-766-0555.
WHCR 90.3 FM, New York.
Be it that you're going to do things to help the sick or the physically disabled or recovering crack cocaine addicts. Be it that you want to help and contribute to youth or do something for the homeless. Whatever you want to do, if you get up in the morning out of a sense of oughtness and decide that I am an opening for the universe, that life can work through and use me as a channel and as an instrument for change. And each day we get up, we make it our personal business to make a difference in those areas that we're concerned about. How are we going to do it? We don't know, but we know that we can make a difference. And we might not be here to see the results of our efforts. We might not be here as many of the people who before us made sacrifices that they did not live to see or reap the benefits of. James Weldon Johnson, stony the road we trod, bitter the chastening rod, felt in the days when hope unborn had died. Yet with a steady beat have not our weary feet come to the place for which our fathers died. We've come over a way that with tears has been watered. We've come treading a path through the blood of the slaughtered. When we came here, somebody paid the price for us to be here. And as we begin to look toward the future, we all have an obligation to give something back. A lot of us don't give more because of the fact that we allow ego to get in the way. I'm thinking of a man that was well-dressed walking through a neighborhood one day, and a lady came to the door and she said, "Hey, you." He stopped, he said very politely, "Yes, ma'am." She said, "Come here." He came to her. "Yes, what may I do for you, ma'am?" She said, "I want you to cut my wood." He said, "Yes, ma'am." He took his coat off and he took the axe that she had there and he cut the wood. She said, "I want you to take some around the back and put some in the fireplace." He said, "Yes, ma'am." And he did that. And after he finished, she said, "What do I owe you?" He said, "Nothing, ma'am. Thank you for the opportunity to serve you." She said, "Okay." And he left, and he was walking down the street with his coat over his shoulder. And her maid came up. She said, "Do you know who that was?" And the lady she worked for said, "No." She says, "That's the great Negro educator, Booker T. Washington." She looked out the window. She said, "Is that right?" She said, "Send for him." And that lady that Booker T. Washington went in and cut the wood for contributed several $1,000,000 to his dream of building an institution of higher learning, Tuskegee Institute, that is standing today.
Wow, what an amazing story. Booker T. Washington, so humble. How you feel about that? Imamu? Did I get it right?
You got it right.
How you feel about that little story you heard there? She called us, "Come here." And I had him to cut the wood and.
Well, I think that just exemplifies what a life of service is about. I mean, there's many stories. I think one of the greatest stories of a life of service is the story of Jesus Christ. You know, to give. There's no greater love, you know, than to give. To give, the ultimate thing that you can give is your life. You know, I mean, what's greater than that? There's nothing greater than that. I mean, things, material things they come and they go. They'll pass away. They'll be lost. They'll be given away. They'll be destroyed. But love, man, greatest gift.
The greatest gift. Wow, excuse me. That hit me. That went all the way deep. That went all the way deep. So what I'm gonna do now? Let's see how we doing with time. Here's what I'm gonna do now. I want to play because that just brought something up for me. So I'm gonna play something, and then we're gonna go from there. Let's see. I'm gonna play something because I like what you said, man, about service. So I'm gonna play something, and then we're gonna see what's up with what's in your hand. Now, when you hear that term, the name of this program is called "What's in Your Hand." When you hear that term, "What's in your hand," what becomes present for you?
Well, I think of a couple different things when I think of what's in my hand. The first thing I think of is my hands, just my bare hands. What are my hands here to do? There's always something to do. There's always some work to do. And there's a speech that I used to have to say. Mm-hmm. What job are you gonna do? There's big work to do, there's little work to do, but the task that you must do is the near. What are you gonna do? It could be sweeping the floor. It could be cleaning a toilet bowl. It could be washing the dish. It could be folding some clothes. It could be any little thing, or it could be a big thing. It could be driving a car. It could be building a house. It could be, but whatever it is, whatever task that you must do, that's near to you. That's the one that you should focus on. Is the one that's closest to you. That too many people spend their time trying to do the big thing and neglect the little thing.
Right. Like that time when Allen Iverson said, practice. This is practice. It's just practice. It's not a big deal. But he was saying, this is practice. What are you talking about? Mm-hmm. But I know there's another guy named MJ who worked hard in practice, went all out. And would get on guys' case when they didn't step up their game in practice.
How about that?
Yeah. So I'm gonna play this quick piece and then we're gonna move on. 'Cause this is a magnificent show, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Well, listen to this. I want to know your feelings about this.
If you want to be important, wonderful. If you want to be recognized, wonderful. If you want to be great, wonderful. But recognize that he who is greatest among you shall be your servant. That's a new definition of greatness. This morning, the thing that I like about it, by giving that definition of greatness, it means that everybody can be great. Because everybody can serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You don't have to make your subject and your verb agree to serve. You don't have to know about Plato and Aristotle to serve. You don't have to know Einstein's theory of relativity to serve. You don't have to know the second theory of thermodynamics in physics to serve. You only need a heart full of grace. Soul generated by love. You can be that servant.
Yes, and yes again. Mm-hmm. Imamu.
Yes.
Do you know who that was?
Absolutely, positively. That was the late, great Reverend Dr.
Yes.
Martin Luther King Jr.
So when you heard that piece, did you hear that piece before?
Of course.
Okay. What became present as you was listening to that piece?
It just confirms what I was always taught and what I was raised to believe. It's the number one thing. It's love. It's what the world needs. It's what people need. It's love. Not a situational love, but unconditional love. Not my aunt. She's a preacher. She said not phileo love, agape love. That agape love is it's not predicated on whether or not you did something for me, or whether I like you, or whether I'm attracted to you. That phileo love is predicated on if I like you, if you're attractive to me, if you did something for me.
Right. Wow.
Unconditional love.
Wow. And how you feel about meeting people?
I believe that everybody comes into your life for a reason or a season.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
So this has got to be the introduction show, because you were introduced to me by Michael Goldberg, and then I have a guest on the phone who was introduced to me by my first cousin, not second cousin or third cousin, first cousin, Brenda Roberts. So I want to bring my guest on and welcome her. Hi, Cherie. How you doing?
Good morning, gentlemen. I am wonderful on this lovely morning. It's so good. You guys have already inspired me.
Now, Cherie, what you doing hanging out with the fellas this time of morning?
Hey, we get one opportunity, and it doesn't go away. It just goes to the next person. So I just had to get in there.
Okay. Now, before we get into who you are and some of all the amazing work that you're doing, you heard that piece by Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. What became present for you when you heard that piece, To Serve?
That was confirmation for why I am presently where I am in my life and in this calling, as I refer to often, and the reason why I'm on this phone with you guys. So that was real good. It resonated very, very well because it's already what I'm doing, serving with nothing else attached. I've been saying since day one, interview after interview, why did I decide to do what I'm doing? And I've said simply service.
Wow.
So it was just beautiful to hear again.
All right. Let me take a station ID. I need to identify ourselves.
WHCR 90.3 FM, New York.
And ladies and gentlemen, this is Rick Young, another segment of What's in Your Hand here at WHCR 90.3 FM, the voice of Harlem, here on the campus of City College. And Cherie, I have a young man in the studio who was a former world cruiserweight boxing champion.
Wow.
And wait a minute now. He drove an hour and a half to get here to the studio. 1 hour and a half to come be here. What do you think about that, Cherie?
That's huge. That shows commitment, That shows dedication. That shows heart.
Yeah.
He obviously loves what he does.
And he was telling me about his 5 beautiful children. Is it 5?
5.
He's got 5 amazing children, and he's an amazing father.
Awesome.
And I'm ready to step into the student mode. I'm a student anyway, but this is somebody I need to learn from.
Yeah.
He's doing this thing. So, Cherie, you are a certified purpose development coach. Tell me about what is a certified purpose development coach? What exactly is that?
We're all here for a reason, and so. And purpose is probably the most underused resource in the earth today. We spend a lot of time and attention on money and what success is, but none of us will truly be fulfilled if we're not doing what we were called to do, placed on this earth to do. But most people miss that. And we're going to get in the conversation a little bit more later, but an example of not operating in your God ordained purpose is having animal-like tendencies And what I mean by that is, the tragedy, of course, that took place in South Carolina a few months ago.
Right.
When that young man walked into a Bible study with my good friend and classmate and several other beautiful souls and took their life. Well, apparently he was not worth, operating in what he was purposely here to do, didn't have the direction that he needed, and so he, acted like an animal and took their lives. And it was unfortunately something that cannot be reversed at this point.
Yeah, how old was that young man?
21.
He was 21 years old. And he was led to believe that I need to hurt these people.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Yep. As animals, as humans, we're not designed to do that, God wired us so much different. But when you don't have direction and you don't understand your own purpose, you will yield yourself to do things like that, but there's a consequence.
So, Cherie, when you heard that that this person went into this church, did you automatically know that was your classmate and friend?
I remember the very moment, actually. I was looking on my phone, strolling down Facebook. That's where I saw it initially. And immediately it started showing on the TV, on the news. And in the pit of my stomach, guys, I just knew that Senator Pinckney was gone, just listening. I waited until the chief of police and the mayor got on to speak. And I just knew. And of course, in the midst of this, I sent his assistant text message. She replied. And they were waiting on SLED at that point. And then I also sent Clem a message, one that I never received. Like many other people, of course. But we never received a text back.
You sent him a message?
Yeah.
Who was actually the pastor of the church?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Mm.
And of course, did not receive a message back.
Mm. Mahmoud, when you heard about that story that happened in South Carolina, what became present for you when you heard about that? And then his father was a pastor. Am I right, Mahmoud?
Yes.
Yeah. So what became present for you? You just said your aunt is a pastor.
As well, a preacher.
A preacher.
Yeah.
So what became present for you when you heard about that story?
I thought it was sad. I thought it was sad, and I thought that it just spoke to the reality of the ugliness that lives in some people's world, and it hurts. It hurts to the point that when you have been living in a world that has become so desensitized to violence and negativity, when you're not a part of that, you have to truly try to insulate yourself from that, because there's so much violence and negativity everywhere that you have to truly insulate yourself to that and realize that it's horrible. And not just think of it, oh well, it happened. That it's so normal. It's not normal. It's not normal. It's not good. It's not right. It's not just. And the world that we live in is one that is very vicious and very destructive. And it's something that we as believers, we as people that love righteousness, we can't allow ourselves to degenerate, to degenerate to that level of thinking and that level of behavior, because there's some people that will do that. We know that those people are out there. We know that we are constantly under attack. Anybody that wants to live right and do right is constantly under attack, because the enemy is out there.
Right. Now, Cherie, how was you able to hold yourself together knowing that a close friend of yours, this happened to a close friend of yours? How was you able to hold yourself together?
I believe the Bible completely. and I, as a young man was just speaking about the evil that's always present, and those that are righteous obviously always are under attack. There's something coming at us from every direction, seamlessly all the time. But when you are rooted and grounded in your faith, then you are unmovable. Now, granted, I pride myself on having a PhD in second chances and 2 black belts, because I'm talking to some boxers, two black belts, and overcoming and enduring hardship. So my life has not been cookie cutters. This girl's been through, the real deal in life. But it's made me who I am today. It's given me the perspective that I have today. And all of that is rooted and grounded in my faith. So when I wanted to collapse and, of course, fall to my knees, I remembered who Clem was in the midst of all of this. I don't tend to look at the glass as half empty or as half full, but the fact that it can be refilled again. And so, again, I'm driven by purpose, and I know that, we're just pilgrims. This is not our home. And so he was completing his work, and he was, an awesome mentor, someone that you could look up to. He was more than just a statesman. He was a true man of God. Mm-hmm. And you can't question that. I don't.
Okay, so let me do my work now, Cherie. One of the things I want to do, I think for some reason I didn't plan this. Now, just be clear, I did not plan this. But you're supposed to meet this brother Imamu. And there's some connection. I don't know if you're gonna be speaking together or sharing. I don't know because Imamu, are you speaking now? Have you started speaking yet?
I've been speaking my whole life.
I mean, on the platform,
yes,
doing presentations.
Presentations, yes.
Okay, so y'all need to connect.
Awesome.
I don't know, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, you definitely need to connect. So, Cherie, this has been a special show. First of all, I started off with the name of this program is called "What's in Your Hand," Cherie. When you hear that term, what becomes present for you? What's in your hand?
I immediately thought of my abilities. What can I do?
Uh-huh.
And this morning, one of my first thoughts as I was preparing was about life.
Okay.
And it sounded like it was a perfect fitting for your conversation as well. But, most people focus on the life that we're currently living. And then even more people think about their afterlife. But there's another major, major life that's taking place with us all the time. Every second of the day, we have a thought life. And I don't think we give much attention to that life. And I think we need to. I wasn't even aware until after Senator Pinckney's death that he was an advocate for mental health.
Wow.
Yeah. And so, you have to think about that. Who turns their mind off? It is moving faster than the internet, And so we really need to pay some attention to that. Otherwise, people will continue to be desensitized. And then that will become, for many, the new normal.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So I actually started off the show. My intro song is Curtis Mayfield, Moving On Up. Mm-hmm. Very upbeat, energetic song, beautiful rhythms. And, Curtis, he just really did. He was a master at his work. He was a master. So then, What's in Your Hand always comes after that. But the song I played after that was a Lauryn Hill song. As I was waiting for Imamu to come, I played a Lauryn Hill song. I don't know if you heard the song called Zion. Have you heard that song?
Zion, you said?
Yeah, Zion. And basically in the song, she was telling a story about her son, that when she got pregnant, people told her, Lauren, you need to get rid of this baby because you got your career to look forward to. And she said, I chose not to follow my head. I chose to follow my heart. And she said, this has been the greatest joy in my life to have this son. This beautiful son of mine. I thank God. I thank you for choosing me to be your mother. And, she just really rocked this song, Zion. You need to hear that song. So, Zion. So, and then, I played a song by Tamala Mann, "Take Me to the King."
Yeah.
And then after that, Imam Moore comes in, and he's like dropping just beautiful science, life science. And then now it's like, oh, hey, listen, I don't even know what to say. This has just been amazing. And we still got a half an hour left. Wow. This has been truly amazing. So tell me a little bit about the work that you're doing now, Cherie.
Well, I can certainly relate to Lauryn Hill with following your heart and not your head. I've been, I think, since birth, and I used to not appreciate this, and I appreciate Amamu for sharing this earlier and making reference to...
Were you listening to the show?
Yeah, I was listening early before I got on, yeah.
Ah, okay,
Yeah.
Good. All right, so go ahead.
Certainly, I appreciate him for referencing being sensitive, because I'm an individual who feels deeply. And what I mean by that, I mean literally. Like, I can pick up the burdens of people really easily. But also the joy, the excitement, the thrills, the triumph as well. I'm able to celebrate with them as well as grieve. And I think we all should do that. But since birth, I've always been very, very sensitive. Early on, I was very timid and naive as a young lady, and I didn't really understand that. It wasn't until I turned 40, really, that I understood my own value and my worth.
Yeah.
And that's like a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So always trying to measure up, trying to appease everyone, wanted approval.
Can you hold on to that thought for a second, Cherie?
Absolutely.
I need to take another station ID.
WHCR 90.3 FM, New York.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rick Young, another segment of What's in Your Hand. In studio, Imamu, former professional world boxing champion, cruiserweight champion, business owner, speaker, father, and Cherie Darian. Darian, right? Cherie Darian.
Correct.
Speaker, teacher, Christian woman. Am I right with that?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I just had an epiphany. If we could get, at some point, Imam Moore to come back again, and that's an hour and a half drive, Cherie. If we can get him to come back, we need to do this again, but we're going to do it. We're going to start at 6 o'clock and go all the way to 8. So we got 2 hours all together, and it'll be better because then we'll know each other a little better. So at some point, we got to figure out when we can get Imam Moore to do it again, hour and a half, and we need to do this again.
Anytime.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
anytime. I agree.
anytime.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a joy, man. It's a pleasure to talk about life, to talk about something that's going to be uplifting for somebody else. It's just like in church when they had testimony. Your testimony, that we overcome by our testimony. That's how we overcome. Somebody else who I have no idea is listening to me might get a blessing, man. Might just get blessed just by something I said.
Okay, so what if listening right now, or maybe next time sitting in that seat, might be a Muslim?
Mm-hmm.
What would you say to that person? What would you say?
Same thing I say to you. God is no respecter of person or race or religion, or God is the creator of everything and everybody. So my personal opinion about who anybody else is or what they believe in is just, hey man, if you feel like that's what it is, that's what you believe in strongly, you have to have a conviction about what you believe in. And my hat is off to people that believe whatever you believe in. I believe. Go ahead, man. If you believe as strong as I believe, boy, woo, it's power, man. There's power in it. And the word that I believe in says every knee. It didn't say some knees. It said every knee shall bow, every tongue shall confess. There's a lot of holy books. I don't see that anywhere else. I've never heard of it anywhere else. Not in the Torah, not in the Quran, not in any other holy book. I've never heard that before. So, it's up to an individual. Yep.
So, Sharik,
Yes.
say we're here, we're sitting here, we're having this conversation, but sitting in this seat or listening would be a Muslim, Islamic brother or sister. What would you say to them, Sharik?
Love is universal.
Okay.
And the thing about the scripture you were referencing, the Bible just now, it says that God so loved the world, keyword, world, that he gave his only son, begotten son. So it's not the Christian brother, or just the people in the church or in the pews. He loved the entire world.
Okay.
That means those that aren't even coming to the church.
Okay.
It's not a matter of the pigment of our skin, or if we choose to say we worship the universe or this, that, and the other. God can't be boxed in. You can't put him in a box. He's everywhere. He said, if you lift your eyes in hell, I'm there. It doesn't matter where we are, where we go, or who we claim to be. He's there.
Wow. See, be careful with that. Them lingo, Cherie, talking that box. You said boxed in. You got me and my brother here bobbing and weaving up in the studio now. You talking. You got to know what you're saying now.
Yeah. Well, hey, that means you guys are always on your toes, and that's cool.
So here's the other part about this program today. I was introduced by Michael Goldberg. Gentleman came to my show, wrote a book called Knockout Networking. Knockout Networking. And he's going around teaching people the skills of, because a lot of people think they know how to network. They think they know, but they really don't really know how to really network. Even myself, I need to improve on my skills, my networking skills. And I'm clear with that. So I was introduced to Imamu by Michael Goldberg, but then I was introduced to you by my cousin, my first cousin, Brenda Roberts. Right. So I'm like trying to figure out, wow, that's like a amazing dynamic to me. What do you think about that, Cherie?
I believe in purpose. Remember, all things happen for a reason.
Yeah. And
so we're just right where we need to be. I think when we posture ourselves to be in alignment with the will of God, life unfolds. You were talking about an epiphany earlier, and my favorite quote for purpose is the place where an epiphany and destiny collide. So those two major dynamics are happening. It's like ordained. It's divine. It's supposed to happen. And have been able to raise my level of awareness and be in tune to the Spirit. And so I know exactly what it feels like to walk in your calling. And it's a beautiful thing, and it's effortless. So you were mentioning networking earlier. I was talking about earlier before we went to the break, finally learning my own worth and my value. And what I equate that to is the blood that Jesus shared on Calvary Cross. Now, who can put a price on that? And so apart from Christ, I'm nothing. But in him, oh, my God, I'm limitless. You can't even put a total on it. So I'm not striving for perfection as the world deems perfection, or success as the world deems perfection or success. I'm already that because I'm an image of him, so it's cool. But so for me, networking is just showing up. And when you show up as your best self, who you are, knowing who you are. That's half the battle right there. And I have accepted, embraced all that I am and all that I'm not. And it's okay, because this is how he made me, and there's no other Cherie on this earth.
And who's some of the people that you do your presentations for?
Presentations for speaking engagement?
Yeah, your speaking engagement, yes.
That audience ranges. Just the other day, I went to a Christian school. They were preparing to go back to school and spoke to the staff. Before then, I had a women's conference, in the church, out the church, in business atmospheres or business meetings and conferences as well. It just depends. Whoever will listen, basically, whosoever will. These conference calls, I've been on a ton of interviews now since I put my name in the hat for this campaign. And
oh, right, you're running for office.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm actually running for Senator Pinckney's office vacant seat now.
Okay. Wow, senator. Wow, that's powerful. So that's the South Carolina senator.
Correct. Yes. Mhm.
Wow. Okay. So we have a little bit of time left. Do you mind having some fun with me? Do you mind, Cherie, having a little bit of fun?
Not at all.
Yeah. You mind more? You mind having a little bit of fun?
Not at all.
Okay, we're gonna start with the lady because
Ladies
as my cousin's book is First Ladies of Savannah, Georgia. So we're gonna start with the ladies first. So Cherie, you get a phone call. You answer the phone. Hi, this is Cherie. Hi, this is President Barack Obama. I heard you on Rick Young's show, What's in Your Hand. I really was impressed with what you had to say. We want to send an airplane, Air Force One, to pick you up and bring you to Washington, D.C. We want you to deliver a message to the world. What is Cherie Dixon, I got a friend named Cherie Dixon. Cherie Darian going to say to the world? What's going to be your message, Cherie?
Wow. Live in your truth.
Live in your truth.
Live in your truth.
Live in your truth. Wow. Ooh, wow. 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 That's going to be your message.
Yes.
Okay. How's that speech going to start off? What's going to be the first thing? How are you going to introduce that speech?
I pride myself on being very transparent, open, honest, and unashamed. So I like people to see the human side of me first, not necessarily my credentials. And my gift is connectability. And so to be transparent enough to show that side of me, to remove my leaves like Adam and Eve did in the day, they put those leaves on. I think many people still hide behind masks. And to create that sensitivity in them, create that connection. Lisa Nichols is one of my mentors.
Okay.
And you know how successful she has been now, and it's because she's told her story. And so then I would share Cherie's story, and I would compel them to embrace their story, who they are, to get back to that human side, because while the world looks at money to be the most important form of capital, I disagree, and I believe it's humans that's the most important form of capital.
Okay, all right. Imamu.
Yes, sir.
Your phone rings. Ding, ding, your phone rings, and you pick it up. It's the President of the United States. It's Barack Obama. And he says to you, hey, I heard you on Rick Young, What's in Your Hand show. I liked your message. I want you to come to Washington. We're going to send Air Force One, which is a magnificent plane. You can even take a shower in there. And the food is good. The food is very, very good. And so you ain't gonna get a bag of peanuts. You'll get some real food. So what's gonna be your message? He says he wants you to give a message to the world. What's gonna be your message?
Live your dreams. Live your dreams.
I'm silent, Cherie, because you said live in your truth, and he's saying live your dreams. Explain. Live your dreams.
Everybody has a dream. Some people's dreams are a lot more. The simplicity of them are, it's a little bit more simple, plain. Some are a little more ambitious. But whatever it is, shoot for that dream. I mean, get as close to that dream as you possibly can. I mean, the fulfillment of life, really, that's where I believe that it really resides, is in living your dreams. Because too many people have regrets and boy, I wish I would have did this, I wish I would have did that. But you don't have to do that. You can live your dreams. You know, live your dream. No matter how old you get, you can still go to school. No matter how old you get, you can still exercise. And no matter how old you get, you can still travel. No matter how, a lot of people think that age is a death sentence. I'm too old now. I can't. It's not. No, it's not. Live your dreams.
Live your dreams. Live in your truth and live your dreams. Wow, that's a powerful message. I think I'm gonna have to call Washington and tell them, hey, listen, I got something for y'all over there. I got something for y'all. Y'all need to get this message out to the people. Come on, what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
Why are people not hearing these kind of messages? Why is that?
Well, these messages are out there. There's a lot of people that are saying these certain things, but there's certain circles that you have to travel in to hear a lot of these different things. But for the most part, everybody's caught up in that rat race. The masses, the majority of people. There's the theory that my father used to say. There's the theory of the basic, the negative, and the all-seeing eye. Most people think, hey, look, you want to make $1, you gotta go, you gotta work hard, you get your $1, whatever. Then there's some people that are just basic in their, they're negative in their thinking, and everything is gonna go bad. This ain't gonna work out. Nothing is good. Everything is just. Every time you come across them, they got nothing but negative to say. And then there's the all-seeing eye. And those are those people that see everything. They know about how this works and how that works, and that's pretty much how our society works. That's the 5%, the 10%, and the 85%. Mm-hmm. The 85% are the masses. The 10% are the people that take advantage of, the capitalists. They capitalize off of that. And then the 5% are people that really understand and see, are watching and looking and understand and are breaking things down and really walking around with their eyes open and trying to enlighten some of the 85%.
Right. Sheree, what is your platform that you are running on as a senator?
Democrat.
No, I mean, like, what is your message that you're running on? Like, what is your theme message?
It's really a second chance. I've branded I'm in the process of rebranding South Carolina to go from the stigma of being known as the corridor of shame. And that has a lot to do with lack of opportunities and not the greatest education system. But rebranding 101, eliminating that stigma, and then navigating through the red tape that currently exists to get funding here. Most of it stays upstate. Many times it's our own fault. We haven't told our story as well as we need to, but most times most of the attention is focused on the urban areas and not so much the rural areas. And, of course, where we are in District 45, it's a very rural area of South Carolina. And so for many places, it looks like a tale of two cities or two districts. That one area is vibrant and thriving and has a lot of opportunity, and then the other areas looks like third world countries.
Wow.
So, we need to bridge the gap there, and that's what I'm essentially trying to do, bridge the gap with hope, unity, and service.
All right. Wow. So I have this poem here I want to read to you and Imamu. It's titled Attitude. There was once a woman who woke up one morning, looked in the mirror, and noticed she had only 3 hairs on her head. Well, she said, I think I'll braid my hair today. She did, and she had a wonderful day. The next day she woke up, looked in the mirror, and saw that she had only 2 hairs on her head. She said, I think I'll part my hair down the middle today. So she did, and she had a grand day. The next day she woke up, looked in the mirror, and noticed she had only 1 hair on her head. Well, she said, today I'm going to wear my hair in a ponytail. So she did, and she had a fun day. The next day she woke up, looked in the mirror, and noticed that there wasn't a single hair on her head. Yay, she exclaimed. I don't have to fix my hair today. Attitude is everything. Life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning to dance in the rain. Cherie, Darian, what did you get from that poem? What became present for you?
Perspective. Perspective immediately. Yeah. Again, going back to the way we see things, that it's not about a glass being half empty or half full, but about living in balance and understanding that there's always an opportunity. And how we see it, how we celebrate, the choices we make. At the end of the day, we have a choice. We could roll and have a tantrum and be depressed, or we can rejoice and we can celebrate and we can have a spirit of gratitude and give thanks.
All right. Imamu, what became present for you with this short poem that I read?
Doing the best with what you have. Doing the best with what you have. Making the most of what you have and turning lemons into lemonade. We as a people have our history in this country has been one of making the best of what we had. I said to some little kids not too long ago, I said, man, when we was little kids, we had hand-me-downs. And those little kids said to me, what are hand-me-downs? They don't even know. They're so detached from, this is the generation of entitlement. I don't know about here in New York, but where I'm at in Freehold, New Jersey, man, those kids are, I don't care what stage of life you think that they might be at or not be at, all those little kids got cell phones. All those little kids got, things, way more things than I remember ever having when I was a little kid. If you got a gift on Christmas, man, you was happy. Now you got to have a pile of gifts to be happy, So I think learning how to appreciate is it has become obsolete. So it's refreshing when people are accepting and learn how to appreciate the little things nowadays, especially the young people.
Cherie, what do you think about today's generation? They call them the millennials.
Yeah, I think he's absolutely right, but I believe there's, again, nothing new under the sun. As the Bible says, Moses, everybody talks about the promised land. We're living in a day of that generation that has entered in to a ready-made promised land. And as a parent, we are a part of that, and that entitlement mentality we created. And so I take ownership, certainly for my end of the spectrum, as far as ensuring that they have that cell phone. Even here, there's some impoverished areas, but at the same time, for most people, they do have a cell phone, or they do have a vehicle to get from A to B. And we're in that era where people have a lot of stuff, but many of them lack substance. And what I mean by substance is wisdom. And so back in the day when our ancestors, they created generational wealth, and they had land, at least some land, or a life insurance policy. Most people today don't have that.
No.
Yeah. Okay, so Cherie, here we're at the end. My brother is getting ready to come in. My brother, William Torres, is getting ready to come in. We're at the end. But I'm gonna hang on as long as he let us hang on. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna throw some phrases at you guys, and just give me like a quick short thought on that phrase. Can we do that? It's almost like one of those TV word games, like remember the $25,000 pyramid. Yeah, they come with a quick. Yeah, so we're gonna do something like that. Expressing your passion, Cherie.
Expressing my passion.
Yeah. What becomes present?
Just do it.
Just do it. Okay. Imamu, expressing your passion.
A must.
A must.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Cherie, fearlessness.
Courage.
Wow. Imamu, fearlessness.
I am that.
I am that.
I am that.
Cherie, you ready for this one?
I'm ready.
This is a big one here. Divine guidance.
A must.
Imamu, divine guidance.
I need it.
Ooh. Cherie, synchronicity.
Say that one again.
Synchronicity.
Connection.
Connection. Okay, because we all connected here today. All 5 of us connected. Why did I say 5, Cherie?
All 3 of us, the Holy Spirit.
Well, and then also the people that introduced us. Brenda Roberts.
Yes.
And Michael Goldberg.
Yes.
Imamu, Cherie Darian, and Rick Young. It's 5 of us.
Yes, there's a greater work.
Yeah. Did I give you some synchronicity?
No.
Synchronicity.
I seek it.
Okay. All right. Cherie, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear.
All the time.
Okay. Imamu. When the teacher is ready, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear.
When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Well, it's a little bit deeper for me than that. I mean, than a couple of words. So I don't know how to just put that in 1 or 2 words.
Okay.
I mean, I experience that quite often. So I think it's an experience.
Okay. Cherie, what do you think about when you hear universal laws?
God.
God. Wow. Imamu, universal laws.
Spirit.
Okay. Universal principles, Cherie.
Necessary.
Imamu, universal principles.
I think universal principles are pretty much based in that same spirituality.
Wow. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're at the end. Cherie, a final message that you would like to share before we get ready for William Torres?
Sure. It's key that we do live on purpose. I'm going to end with that and just hope and pray that someone receives something great out of this message today and to kick fear in the face and live on purpose.
All right. Cherie, I want to thank you, but hold on, don't leave right now. Imamu, a final message you want to share?
First of all, I would just like to thank you for inviting me. It's been a pleasure. It's refreshing, and again, like I said, it's a joy, man, to share positive messages. I don't care if it's 4:00 in the morning. Michael, I'd like to also thank Michael Goldberg for making the introduction. More importantly, the kids. I had one of our kids just went out to Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and won the Ringside Worlds. Angelo Troncoso. I'm so proud of my kids, the kids that come, and I feel like they're my sons. I tell their parents, your son is my son. You understand that? Because I pour myself into these kids, not just boxing skills, but life lessons. And Freehold Boxing and Fitness in Freehold, New Jersey, has been a blessing for me, and I'm sure it's a blessing for them. And I just I pray that that God gives me the ability to continue to do what I'm doing. Also, on Saturday, which is tomorrow.
Oh, you're doing a show?
I'm doing a show. And not only that, the beauty of it is that people are coming from New York, Connecticut, North Carolina, fighters, these amateur fighters. And I think it's beautiful, man. It's just a beautiful way to connect. And like you said, like Mike said, networking.
Right.
We're networking.
Cherie, I want you to say hi to my brother, William Torres. He's here in the studio getting ready to come on next. Say hi to William Torres, Cherie.
Hi, William. Pleasure to meet you. You guys rock it out today.
Cherie, I want you to send a blessing to William Torres. Give him a blessing for me, okay? Go ahead.
Yes, William. Hi, Cherie Darian here. Want to send a very special blessing out to you today and all that you have your hands to. May it increase, and may you find great pleasure in serving as you do.
Yeah, he's a good brother, man. He's a good man. He's really good, really good. Cherie, thank you. I got to move out the way, let him do his thing. It's his turn, and I want to thank you for being here today. And Imam Mu, an hour and a half drive, man. That's commitment.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cherie. I'm going to reach out to my cousin and thank her for introducing me to such an amazing person, and I'm going to reach out to Michael and tell him thank you as well. So thank you, Cherie.
Thank you both. Y'all have a great day.
All right. We'll be in touch, right? All right. Talk to you soon. Imam Mu, we got to run. Thank you, man. I appreciate you, man.
You got it.
Okay. This is Rick Young signing off. Another segment of What's in Your Hand here at WHCR. The next voice you'll hear will be William Torres after the station ID.
WHCR 90.3 FM, New York.
The next voice you hear will be that of Mr. William Torres.
September is National Preparedness Month. WHCR 90.3 FM, the City College of New York, and Harlem Hospital invite you to Harlem Preparedness Day on Tuesday, September 22nd from 12 noon to 4 p.m. There will be information on evacuation procedures, the new flood zones in Harlem, first aid care, emergency procedures for the disabled, go bags, a farmer's market, giveaways, and more. Music provided by a few of WHCR's hottest R&B and house DJs. That's Harlem Emergency Preparedness Day, Tuesday, September 22nd from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m., held on the Adam Clean Power Jr. State Office Building Plaza, located at West 125th Street and Adam Clean Power Jr. Boulevard.